We are live, my friend. Tell me if you're getting the feed on your end.
Let me see here. Not yet. Let's see. Refresh. Yep, there we are.
Look at that.
Hello.
Literally yesterday. So what do you want to go by the way? I should have asked you that before.
Just call me NiftyBC. That's what everyone seems to know me by in this space. So.
Yeah, my name's Jared, but I go by Coins, so just call me Coins.
What's up, Coins? Thank you for having me on, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, thanks for tuning in tonight to OnChain and Uncut. Tonight we've got our dear friend NiftyBC finally putting a face to the name. Very, very pleased with how this show is going to go tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tonight's lineup we're going to go through, which you guys have in your links in the video description of every link that we're going through, so you don't have to shuffle and find after. And those will be published, and this video will be published as well. So whoever misses it can tune in later, and we'll send a follow-up tweet after. So NiftyBC, thanks for coming on, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I know we've got a lot of things to dive into. Runtime probably around 30 minutes or so. I know you're a busy guy, but I do have you linked out so everybody can follow along. I guess we'll dive right into it where we can start talking about your main project, which is M.O.R.B.S.
Yes.
And I can scroll along if you wanna direct. I'll drive.
Yeah, I'll take a look over here. So M.O.R.B.S, it stands for Mutant Organic Robots Buying Shit. So I think we're all kind of mutant organic robots buying shit at the moment. So
no doubt,
I felt it appropriate. And so I wanted to make these characters. I drew them when I first got into the space, probably end of March going into April. I drew the first 6 characters, which this is one of them. This is DeFi. And there's Crypto, Toby, Gas Fifi, and Satoshi and Zap. And so they were the first characters. They were character cards that got put out on Wax. If you scroll down actually below VAMPA, actually keep on scrolling down.
I'm scrolling. There's a serious lag, so just bear with me.
Oh yeah, we're moving with it. We're moving. We gotta love live streaming, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
feel
This is
live streaming, and it's so good.
Yeah,
anyway, we'll talk about VAMPAS too here in a second. But okay, so the AR cards, we'll talk about this too. So these guys, I think if you keep scrolling, I think they're right below this augmented reality part. The OG characters, there they are. So those are the first 6 cards, and this was the blue series and the green series cards. I only did 25 of each. I wanted to make it like just super rare, just like, these are just like the beginning character sketches. The initial idea of the whole project was that I'm making an animated series and I wanted every piece to be put on the blockchain. So in other words, the character sheets, the beginning storylines, the concepts basically. So what people have actually been buying, whether they realize it or not, are actually concepts for the final product that's coming. So, I'm in the midst of working on the animation part now that I've moved to our new home up here in the Pacific Northwest. And so now I'm kind of going to really dive into the animation part of it and start releasing NFTs or actually little animations. So that will be coming with these 6 characters. They, at the moment, have been kind of toned down because I did release the crypto guy, the top left guy, with those blockhead. You might have seen the Avatar series I had released. If you scroll up, back up, you can see the crypto guy.
Does that help? Can you see my scrolling in Zoom? Is that better? We're just gonna.
Oh yeah, I can see you now in Zoom.
So we can talk this way, and then it'll just catch up over here.
Sure. Anyway, so if you scroll up actually just a little bit right now, keep on going a little bit more. VAMPA. Actually, we'll probably go to CRYPTOS. Click on CRYPTOS at the very top. Yeah. Okay. So so this crypto, this is the CRYPTOS guy. CRYPTOS is a 101 avatar series. This was also augmented reality. We were the first augmented reality project on Wax. And so this one comes with an augmented reality, but it also comes with some benefits which include airdrops every month. It comes with limited commercial rights, so you can actually put this on a shirt or a postcard or something and sell it if you wanted to.
Great.
And it comes with different rarities, so you know which ones are the most rare and all the way down. And so this was the last time I used these characters, and I'm working on some new ones right now. And these airdrops that I've been doing for cryptos, I just actually sent the 5th one out yesterday, which was Franken Crypto, and it's like a Frankenstein version of that crypto guy. So that leaderboard, which you're seeing right now, that kind of gives you the rundown of the most rare all the way to the least rare. So people that are out there looking on the secondary market to get them, that's where you probably want to look to see which ones are the most rare. Also, I believe there might still be 10 of these available on the market from the original sale, because when I did this, I didn't drop them all at once. I dropped them actually staggered, where I was doing 10 or 25 at a time. They were priced a little bit higher than my other pieces, mainly because of the commercial rights that you get with it. But yeah, you can kind of go there. There's a VAMPA packs up on top. We'll talk about that in a second. That's the WAXGANG. We can talk about them too.
Yeah, we'll talk.
And there's some
there's
cryptos.
there's still a couple
right
available.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah, still a couple in there. And when you get those cryptos, you know, you're getting it automatically. You're going to start getting airdrops. And if you haven't gotten the first ones, if you hop on there, you know, just write to me. I'll send you the ones that you did miss. So there's some really good ones in there. So definitely hop in there and pick up some of those last cryptos.
This is what I see when I close my eyes and say your name. This is what comes to mind.
Okay. Cool. That's a good thing. I'll take that. Some people might have used avatars.
Take that how you want to, bro.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it was a fun series to work on, you know, because I wanted to bring these avatar things over to Wax, because there really wasn't that many of them. I think there was the punks that are on Wax. I can't remember the name, and some other ones, but I didn't really see any illustrated ones yet. So I go ahead and I went ahead and did this. This took forever, by the way. So at first I was going to do an AI generated version of these, like using some JavaScript to build out the actual pieces.
Sure.
And I suck at coding, guys. I just gotta let you know, like it's a trial and error, just like OBS. So I came up with all these things that came out were so weird looking and just didn't look right, and I was just like having a hard time. So I actually hand did these, all 100 of them. I went into Photoshop, they're all on different layers, and we're clicking on and off ones and putting it in an Excel sheet. It was kind of a nightmare, but I got it done. And so that's where these are. And they're one of ones. There's only one of each of these. So there's no multiple mints. It's just every one of these is a number one. So.
Right. Well, they're definitely cool. And the way that the scarcity of having, 100 one of ones, there's a couple other guys that have followed your lead, and I've seen,
Yep.
and they've had success. So congratulations on being the pioneer on this one for sure.
Thanks, man. Yeah, shout out to Senior Lupe. He has a great one as well called Chummies.
I like it.
If you haven't checked that out, please go check that out. And then I believe Sebastian from Blockchain Blunts got together with Boris the Creator. I think they're working together, and they released one which is Petal Heads or Garden Heads. I can't remember what the name of them. But they're really cool looking. So those just came out as well. It's nice seeing those kind of projects popping up,
Absolutely. It's humbling, and it's a huge compliment, man. It's a huge compliment to what you're doing. I mean, we see I don't want to call them copycats, but some of them are just blatant copycats. But the ones that kind of take the ball or the idea and run with it and make it their own, I mean, Godspeed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It's fun, man. It's, that's what's nice about this space is that, especially on Wax, you can do so much with it. It's so different than ETH. I'm starting to get into ETH as well, and I'll talk about a drop that I'll be doing here in a second on there. But I still like the utility of Wax, the fact that you can have packs and blends and you can add things to it. I just like it a lot better.
Well, just the and we talk about this all the time, but just the price points and the barrier to entry. I mean, it's so low that even the novice that wants to dip their toe in, their toenail in. I mean, you can make a Wax account in 30 seconds if you got an email address and internet, and you can buy directly from the Wax wallet via a debit card. And $20 will get you invested in most projects You know, to a degree where you don't feel like you're, you know, not in. I mean, you can get in with $20. So.
Yep, 100%. That's one of the things that's really nice about Wax is the onboarding. You know, I wish, you know, more ETH collectors would come over and see that, you know, but, you know, there's also that side where I think a lot of the collectors on Ether like the barrier to entry. Like they actually like that gas fee there for some reason, you know.
Yeah, no doubt. It's the elite. I cut my teeth on Ethereum and with Picasso punks and the first generation of the alt punks. And my view was, you know, we were up in our crow's nest and, you know, Wax was the inferior product. It was the second-hand or thrift store of the NFT market, and you know that's the view from over there. It just 100%. Is what it is. But once you get in and immerse yourself with the Wax and see the utility and all the stuff you can do, hell, Agora cut its teeth on a very underutilized function, which is auctions. We just made. I mean, look, it's low tech, it's low cost, and it works. So,
And it keeps those gas fees out of the thing for the collectors. Because I feel bad for the collectors because there's a lot of collectors that hop into this space because it's a hot thing. Sure. They want to make money, that kind of stuff. Right. And they don't even understand what gas fees are. And they start to buy into these things and they don't realize it's like, you know, you might have just spent $250 on gas, you know, like you didn't even put it towards a piece. And I think that throws a lot of collectors off when they hop in. They're like, "Whoa, this is a scam because of that." And
well, hell, before you, and I don't mean to cut you off, but before you're even collecting, you know, you have to know how to make a MetaMask or a Fortmatic or some transition thereof. You have to know how to go into an exchange, deposit to the exchange, buy Ethereum, and then cross your fingers, cross your toes, and hope to God your first transaction goes through. So you send a test batch. Your test batch costs you triple for gas just to send the test batch. By that point, you know, humans are lazy. You need to make this shit 100%. Easy for them.
100%, man. I 100% agree with that, like tenfold, man. Like that's what I think. And that's, you know, like if you click on VAMPAS, we can talk about that.
Sure.
So VAMPAS
I wish I could see you right now.
I'm sorry, man. I don't know.
This Friday, Bob the grandpa on the way back from his local bingo night
if you scroll down,
gets bit by a vampire.
There it is.
Yes.
So that's the story of the latest thing. Anyway, VAMPA is basically an avatar pack. So it's and this idea was, now that avatars are like the thing, it seems like everybody's doing avatars. I think that I wanted to make it a little bit more fun where instead of just getting one avatar, you get 5 in a pack. So when you buy these, you get 5 different avatars and they have different rarities. And those rarities you can actually blend up. So there's 5 rare VAMPAS you can blend. Like you scroll down, you'll see the blend. Sure. Yeah. We might have frozen, I think, on YouTube, by the way. I'm looking over YouTube and might have frozen up there.
Oh, that's wonderful. Live with a countdown is still counting, so hang on.
Let's see.
I'm going to do something with you. Unreal, man. Unreal. Hold tight. Let me click you. Let me see what the actual YouTube's doing.
Yeah, it seems like the screen share's moving, but we aren't, I think. By the way, I'm looking over YouTube and might have frozen up there.
Oh, that's wonderful. Live with a countdown is still counting. We were still talking. It's that screen share. I guarantee you it's a screen share. I'm going to do this with you. Unreal, man.
Okay, now we're moving.
Yeah, it's when I put you on Zoom screen share, it clicked off.
Yeah, I'll just watch over at YouTube. That's
okay, cool.
That's totally fine. Seems like the screen share's moving, back to now I'm hearing an echo here. Let me turn off my. Hello? Yeah, that's better.
You're here.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so VAMPAS. So there are the VAMPAS right there. There's one of them right there. This is, there's all of them. They're coming in. So there's 13 VAMPAS in this VAMPA council. This is the WAX release, and those are the 13 names of them. They have different rarities. Those rarities can be blended up. So in other words, if you have all the rare ones, which there's 5, you can blend that into an ultra rare version. Same thing. All the ultra rares blend up to the legend, and then the legends blend up to the final supreme leader one. So
understood.
So with that, the only thing that was missing, you scroll down just a little bit more, you'll see the augmented reality video right underneath the avatar guys. So this comes with an augmented reality that has all the VAMPAS in it. And that's actually a video you can play. I don't know if it's going to stream well, but that is the way they're set up. So the very top is the supreme leader. The next one is the legendary, rarity. Then it has the ultra rare, and then the rare at the bottom. And so that was the very first pack that I had dropped for the VAMPAS. And then this last week, I dropped another one that was called Bites and Blood. I think that's scrolling back to the top. There's merch there too, but see.
You've got a lot going on, brother.
Yeah, I've been going, man. I'm shooting buckshot, just seeing if I hit something.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like, yeah, I put together 3 collabs this morning, and it felt like, you know what I mean? Just go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I just like to, I get an idea in my head. I just like to kind of put it out. And also, the space, especially for people starting out, this space moves fast, really fast.
Yeah.
And, even just 2 weeks down for me was like, I felt like it was months, I was like, oh my God, I came in, there's all these new projects, all these new blends are happening, and I'm like, whoa, I got to kind of catch up again.
Oh yeah. I mean, you go to the bathroom, you come back, and it's a rug
exactly. 100%, man. 100%. Like what just happened the other day on Opensea with the guy on the front page, I'm like, what happened? I was like, holy crap, man.
The insider guy?
Yeah, the insider trading. So I guess he was basically buying up the new stuff before it landed on the front page. And so when it landed on the front page, spiked, he'd sell it, pump and dump that thing. So which is not so cool when you're the guy that's running the front page. So kind of threw out the whole thing. Like, what are you supposed to do?
This is growing pains for any industry, man. There's always going to be those people looking to make a quick buck or try to work the system. I mean, it's just, you can call it the internet, you can call it crypto, and it's for illegal activity. Dude, this is any business, anywhere.
Exactly.
I mean, it just is what it is. It's just new. Yeah. So you're going to have, those people taking advantage of its newness, essentially, without a better...
100%, man. And it's crazy, because, now you got all these people freaking out and stuff. And I'm like, dude, something was going to happen eventually. I mean, it's all like, even like foundation. I remember when I first got in this, everyone's all like, oh, I hope I can get a foundation invite. I'm all like, I don't know, man, because I just got emailed by at least 3 people that said that I can buy one for $100, So I'm like, what's the point?
I know. No, yeah, it's just like Clubhouse when it came out. Oh, I hope I can get an invite. And now, it's just new, man. This and people chasing shiny balls across the tables. I mean, that's what we're in. So we just got to stay ever evolving and make it as organic as possible. I mean, that's essentially it.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree to that, man. It's I'm just trying to keep it kind of like how I originally thought of this, which wasn't come as basically a person that's naive to NFTs. I'm trying to make it go with the flow. Don't overthink it, and don't hop into the trends too much, follow the trends, but don't fall totally into it, because I think, that will kind of just make you start spinning circles, I think
you need to have legs. You need to have legs under you, and if you're always riding coattails or trying to formulate an idea of an idea, but you're just going to be in the rears the whole time you're in the space.
Exactly. So. Yeah, it's like if you have a good project, that you believe in. I just think it's good just to focus in on it and bring some rarity to it. That's the one thing I really learned over all the time, because, I've only done 2 releases that were like the 1,000-piece releases, and they were, promotional free ones, and, sure. It wrecked my secondary completely, right off the bat, because my secondary was really high. Most pieces were trading at like $50, $60. I released this free thing. All the bots got it within seconds. And then they're reloading these and selling them at cents. So your whole line just right to the fucking bottom. Yeah. And, I realized real quick, I was like, that there's no point for me to go to that point, because in the real world, thinking a brand new project was just automatically going to have 1,000 eager fans to buy it. it's kind of unrealistic, you know. And I was trying to keep it more like I'd much rather put scarcity to it, to the collectors that really are into the project. So if the project sells out at a lower rate, I don't really care, because to me, I'm all like, one, it creates FOMO. Two, it makes, you know, the people that are the collectors stoked, because they have a really rare piece that they can really hold and sell at a higher price, because there's not that many that even exist.
Sure.
So, you know, it's kind of like a weird balancing act all the time, you know. So like sometimes they'll try to release more and they'll do great, and then, you know, all of a sudden they don't do great, you know, because Wax tanked and a new staking project came into play.
Yeah,
you know,
no, I get it. So my exit from Ethereum, and I still dabble. I got Nifty Gateway, VV, Top Shots, which we don't talk about. You know, I'm on this Polygon DraftKings thing, dude. I've got a wallet everywhere. But my exit was when the fucking pickle came out after the Bored Apes. When the pickle came out, I'm like, guys, like I've kind of like treaded water with you guys, but like now I gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, totally agree. And to kind of dovetail off what you're saying, it's hard, man, when you don't have a market to base off of. Like if you're a new project, you haven't released anything, you don't really have a community built yet, but you want enough inventory and supply for everybody to participate and get in, but you don't want to have that saturated type feel. It's really hard. I mean, this clown release we did, you know, we have 18,600 NFTs that we styled into trunks.
Which is awesome, man. That's super. And by the way, I love that release. I love Oliver's stuff, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Oliver is a homie. He and I worked on 2 projects on Ethereum, and I said, I'm building this platform. When I get to Wax, like we're gonna transition you. And he's already working on his next project for Agora right now. So
that's awesome, man. Yeah. That's super cool to hear, man. That's super cool to hear.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I'll relay the information. He eats it up, man. He's a very artistic guy. Like he likes to like play in his garden and paint.
That's great.
And then he, you know, that's what Agora is. Like bring the art, I got the rest. Like we'll market you, we'll build you out, we'll get you whitelisted. Like he doesn't even have keys to his wallet. You know what I mean? Like like I control everything, and that's how we want it. So
that's great though, man. Yeah, cool. I mean, I'm glad to see his stuff out and about, man, and
yeah,
you know, you guys are gonna be on my show on Friday, and I'm excited to meet him. You know, so
yeah, for sure. And I promise they're not all this choppy. But I mean, like how we led in backstage, like, you know, this is learning on the fly, and I think there's some semblance of forgiveness within not only the creator and collector space, but just the industry and space as a whole. Like they get it, like you said, live streaming. Like, dude, I've been there. Like you were like, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? So that's what's cool, like about this. Yeah, there's gonna be some money grabs and some rug pulls and some insider trading. Dude, people are just people. I mean, like
exactly. It's going to happen in any business, man. It's not anything different. This is, you know, just because there's a little less regulation at the moment, that's why I think it's you know, kind of happening. You know, but this is all going to change anyway. It's you know, we're so early to this game. I mean, I feel like I showed up to the ball game and it's like they're still like wiping down the seats and clearing the last game's trash out. Like we're not even at the first inning yet. You know, like and I feel like what.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And I think, and to kind of like, I just like our back and forth. So I think to even take that one step further, we're so not only early but so close to it. Yep. Like, you know, we're so like immersed in our little world. So I'm on Discord, I'm on Twitter, I'm on these kinds of things. I'm talking to my creators, I'm talking to my mods, whatever. And we're talking about this. We see this move over here. We see that move over here. We see the price drop 5 wax over here, or goes up, you know, the floor goes up 0.1 Ethereum over here. But when we look up from our monitor, go to the bank, go to the gym, go out to a restaurant. Like if somebody asks, you know, how was your day? What did you do today? They'll be like, they don't even know what the fuck you're saying. I just say I'm an art dealer at this point. I don't, I do. Like I've cut it all out. But what I'm saying is the other 99% of the world hasn't come in yet. So I think this time of not only lulls in the market, not only, dips and crypto dipping and the stock, whatever you want to call it. I think this is time to get that work in, so when the next wave comes, we're sitting here with our surfboards and beer ready to surf.
Man. Yeah, I can't agree with that more. And that even goes to this VAMPA release I'm talking about, because I'm actually going to release the next part on Ether, which are the crazy 55 VAMPA Ether Clan. So they're
This Friday.
going to be 55 of those are going to be on ETH. And the difference between those and the other avatar projects over there is that I am getting ready for the bridge. I don't know if anybody else is, but I am. I think that WAX is already able to do the ERC20 token. So you're able to take WAX, switch it over to ETH through the WAX-O-WEEN thing they got. And they're working on the NFT part, meaning you'll be able to take your NFTs from WAX, trade them over to Opensea and back and forth. I believe there'll be gas fees obviously going into the ETH unless they're using some sort of 2.0 thing, but going into WAX will be free. So it's going to open up a different kind of trading thing. And so with the new VAMPA one that I'm going to be releasing, you buy your VAMPA on Opensea. It's over there in the Ether world. And so you can trade that. But all you got to do is just contact us, open up a WAX wallet. Like you said earlier, it takes you no more than a minute, to do so.
Right.
And we send you a token, and that token you just hold in your wallet, and we send you free airdrops from that point forward for the VAMPA series. So you're able to collect free stuff on WAX, which is to me, people can say what they want to say. I just think WAX is number 2 as far as NFTs are concerned. I think OpenSea is probably number 1 on the ETH network. It's always going to be there, but I think WAX is right there. I think WAX, as far as utility, brings something totally different that I just think when collectors start to realize what you can do with WAX and it goes up in price, I think that there will be a humongous transition to it. So
yeah, the influx, and I couldn't agree more. I've been preparing for this bridge for 2 months, and it's it's something that not only is it going to bring new eyes and it's going to be to them what we're like, yeah bro, why are you always talking about old shit, you know what I mean? We know, but when everybody comes in, especially with the big money coming in, the Bored Apes and the crypto punks and whatever else is over that's going to transition over, which they've already started, but it's still got that stigma, bro. It's still got that stigma.
It does.
And until it's easily, we become blockchain agnostic, which is what we're shooting for. And I think it's just going to be like, oh, I drive a Mercedes, no a BMW, no a Audi. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's going to be a form of transportation, just a different style. Like Cardano, I think is going to be a big player soon. Man, it's a nightmare. I hold a dataless wallet and view on smog. I mean, it is a fucking nightmare to have. But I want to be ready. I want to be ready with my little crypto heroes. You know what I mean? My whatever. Because when we do become, and we will become blockchain agnostic, I even think VV, which is, I think they went to ERC something, and I've been stacked on VV in my gems. They're handicapped right now. I mean, they still have, 50,000 on their drops, sell out, boom, instantly.
Boom, like nothing.
And their gems, the gems you can't even fucking transfer out anymore. You had to get on BitMax or Bit4X and then buy them, transfer it into the URL wallet in the beginning, and you used to could transfer them out before they locked the network.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't. So why?
I did not know that, man. I haven't been, because I VV actually was a huge influence for me. Like doing the augmented reality stuff is all because of VV. I downloaded that first Batman thing. I got a few of those Batmans that came out, and I was just solely like, oh, that's so cool. I can totally look at my Batman in the real world or walk into that little vault, gallery thing, and I was just like, these guys have it made because I look at the big brands and the way they look at this. I mean, they look at this kind of like box tops to me, they're like, oh, this is a great way to give a free product of somebody that really doesn't cost them anything, for the most part. It's like a 3D character. They have
Right,
some
sure.
archive,
Yeah.
pose it for put 500 poses on it, and those 500 NFTs will release, sporadically over the next year, and people pay $70 for it. It's like, this is totally what they're doing.
Oh, I know.
So it's interesting, but yeah, I agree. Keep on going.
I will rant, dude. We can go on for hours about this. Like, I just don't stop. I don't ever shut up either. But it's, the VV, the way they lock the gems, and people are still depositing via App Store, paying $30, $15 and $30 to buy their gems, to buy Marvel's #1 release, and then pray to God that they get the good rarity, the ultra, the one of 250 or whatever. And then back in the day when I was buying like the Joker and the Batman, like I was there in the way beginning like you. I was buying NFTs everywhere, Nifty Gateway, whatever it was. And I think, and I guess I want to come full circle here before I keep ranting, that when we do become blockchain agnostic, and I think, Ethereum's going to always be like the granddaddy of NFTs. But I think the value, I'm not saying that all these WAX projects are going to rocket, but when WAX, and this is twofold, not only when the user base, which is, they got the monopoly, they got the influencers, they got celebrities now. They got celebrities when their drop fails, they're getting their refund. I mean, they're handicapping the rest of us because they're just pushing their money around. I mean, it's impossible, when you got something constantly in your face to beat it out. But what I will say is when we become the bridge and blockchain agnostic, etc., for WAX, twofold, not only to see that there's actually some talent going over to WAX, lower barrier to entry for consumer and creator, to minting, to buying, to creating a wallet, to moving around, to like trading. I've got a trading channel set up in my Discord where they're just trading clowns back and forth for free. Instead of having,
I love that.
So instead of having to, go on and trade, and then, you send, and, I think Nifty Blocks is going to make a big influence when they get a marketplace, because Atomic Hub is just like not user friendly at the moment, and real hard. And it's hard for, like, unless you're like a business guy like yourself or me, or most creators are just they're creative. They're not going to keep going back and forth on email with somebody trying to get whitelisted when they keep coming back with extenuating circumstances of, oh, well, no, we said 150, but we really need you to have 400 followers. Blah, blah, blah. So when you just cut out all the bullshit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think, that you bring up a great point. I mean, look, I love Atomic Hub. Don't get me wrong.
I do too. I do too.
If it wasn't for them, they wouldn't even be the WAX marketplace. But I'm a huge Nifty Blocks guy. I bought in big on the Nifty Blocks. They just did their token release, and I bought in on them big because I believe 100% in those two guys. They're putting together something that is finally user friendly and finally looks right to me. Atomic Hub has the utility, but it's designed by developers. It doesn't the UI doesn't bring you into the project's right way. The way that they present the bigger projects is awesome until, most of them are being bought USD and WAX, tanks at the same time. So you're kind of like, you're kind of like shooting yourself in the foot sometimes, so I want to see it kind of change out where, you really bring a little bit more value to WAX, the coin, because I think that's where the problem is a lot for ETH guys. It's like, you hold a couple ETH, that's thousands of dollars. You can hold, thousands of WAX, and you might not even, crack a couple $100, so it's like,
I think that mindset of actually, and you bring up a great point there as well, that mindset of like, oh, I only have 0.3 ETH, even though it's worth, $900, right. I got 10,000 WAX. It's just something, it just feels different. It just feels different. And the money is the same. If not, WAX is actually even less. But it just feels different. It's more exciting. You get a sell for 7,000 WAX versus, 0.0573 Ethereum. it just feels different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And also, for creators and collectors as well, guys, Bitcoin used to be $1. Please understand that. If you get in on one of these coins that you see has a future like Wax, I would highly suggest you start collecting and hodling as much of that as possible, so that when it does hit, because a couple weeks ago, some of my other friends that hold a lot of Wax will attest to this, when we saw it go to 60 cents from 12, that was a humongous drop. Like you're talking, we made thousands in a minute, and I could have sold out. I didn't. I hodled.
Yeah.
And yes, it's back down.
Yeah.
But the fact that it hit there means it's going to go past there and keep on going and doing the same thing that any of these other coins have done over the years, which is the roller coaster ride of crypto, guys. It's like, I've been around a little while, so I already know.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that ride.
Testing those resistance lines, man. That's all it's doing. It's doing, exactly. And then it's consolidating and creating new support. I mean, shit, it's trading 101. I mean, anybody that's ever traded anything knows. It's just a sign of things to come. It's just like, hey guys, don't forget about me. Just hold tight. I'm coming.
Exactly.
And when the people do get that bridge, and blockchains are more explored as a whole, instead of, oh, I've got Ethereum, oh, I only deal with OS, no, right. I'm only Nifty Gateway, no, I only deal with Wax. When they become, when we finally sing Kumbaya and all hang out together, and then Wax price goes $2, $3, $4.
Exactly.
We got a whole nother fucking situation on our hands. So
big time. And you're going to have a lot of whales created instantly, you know, that can then bridge over to ETH.
Yep.
And that's when things are going to get real interesting, I think. Like I said, we're so early on this. I think that when this fully develops out, it's going to be a whole different ball game. And
absolutely.
And like I said, it's the guys on ETH too, the problem is that they're always constantly trying to find utility to put into these projects. That's why you see, everyone has these massive Discord things, and they're doing in-person meetups, and they're doing all this stuff. And it's like, it's awesome. And I totally think it's rad that they're doing that. But, there's a lot of simple utility that's still missing that they could just get on Wax, say, send free airdrops with packs that then gives them another way to make money off of this project. It's like, instead of going to a meetup.
I think people get lost. And look, that statement right there is like the granddaddy of all statements we've said thus far, because I think people are getting lost. They forget about the art on their venture to chasing around utility, tokenomics, gaming, burns, blends, whatever. They forget about the art. They forget about the community. And then they skip steps trying to get to the end game, or they try to build out this roadmap and white paper of this grand thing, and they never start because it's so overwhelming to them. And I think 100%. They just handicap themselves.
Yeah, and also, I'm on the fence, because I've been thinking, like, do I write my own smart contract, that kind of stuff, and then I talked to a couple of developers, and they're like, the problem is that you have to keep that up for years, you're basically in charge of that. So if anything goes wrong, it's all on you, so I'd rather just trust, Opensea to handle it at the moment, I'm going to kind of just tread lightly right now, because it's, I think everything's in such a transition point. It seems like I'm just kind of like watching what these, because I hate seeing these big projects come in that like come up and the rug's pulled in like 2 weeks later, and everyone's like tripping out on Twitter, so it's a weird space, and you don't really see that in Wax, which is what I like about Wax too. It seems like the community, at least from my experience, is been a little bit more welcoming, a little bit more willing to work together, to build a community, like, oh, you have Waxapalooza up right now. I see it on the screen. So speaking of community, Waxapalooza, this is actually a good example of a Wax community project. So these are all artists that I'm friends with through Telegrams and Twitter since the start. And I put together this thing called Waxapalooza that's basically a VR space. So if you go to artdrop.app and click on Waxapalooza, you'll have some links to actually go into the VR space. And you can do it from a desktop, you can do it from a mobile phone, you can do it from a VR headset. And what it is that it's a metaverse that you can go actually buy things in. Everything's linked. It's linked to the collections. There's a little vendor booth area, which you guys actually have a booth in. Agora has a booth right there, and it's going to be in the next one as well. And you can check out all these different projects and kind of fall into the rabbit hole while enjoying this kind of bizarre VR space, and a kind of a cool way to see the art instead of it just being, a JPEG on a web page scrolling by it. It kind of gives you a little bit more of an immersive vibe to it.
What I really like about you, NiftyBC, and until today, regrettably, I haven't like dove in and went down your rabbit hole yet, just because there's so many. But you're really setting the expectations with your consumers and your community. You're not pounding out. I mean, you've got a lot of stuff going on, but like you're dropping in at a good rate. And then, like, you're hosting events like this instead of like, let's build this, boom, lay it on them, white paper, roadmap, come here, look there, hit a mod up. If you don't understand, catch us on Telegram. Like, you're poetically setting expectations as you're dropping these things, and everything's very, layered and well laid out. And then, like, you're hosting events like this Waxapalooza, which we went to. I think what we were talking about before you started speaking to Waxpalooza is setting expectations could cure a lot of these diseases we have.
Yeah, like with me, it's like, I'm an old-time musician, so I was a touring musician for years, and when you're in a town, I was in Los Angeles, you have to build a scene to get people to really show up to your shows and stay the whole night. It's a whole thing. Yeah. And so it's very much community building, because you have to kind of make it like a fun thing for everyone to stay. You want everyone to know each other. You want everyone to support each other. Right. And that's kind of the same idea that I had with this, is that I saw all these artists, all of us are doing really cool things. I want to support all of these artists, but I think that all of us are going in different directions. And I was like, why don't we consolidate it, like, so that way people have some sort of a curated piece, or like, these are the ones that I think are really the projects that are, one, every person that was at this hustles. That's the number one thing in the space. If you're following a project and that guy's hustling every day, stay with that project 100%, because that guy's going to stick around for a while. They're going to take the bumps and the whole thing and keep moving. Two, these people show up every day. That's another thing I always try to tell new artists if they ask me. I'm like, show up every day, whether it's a good morning on Twitter or whatever it is. Be part of the community. Show that you're not just shilling them in, selling them on your thing all the time, but actually being a normal person, just saying hi, like, how you doing? Like, are you stressed out? Like, I'm stressed out, that kind of stuff, And so that's kind of like where this kind of came from, where I just wanted all of those people to kind of be in one area, so that someone can just go in there. And by the way, I didn't charge a thing to one artist. This is a completely free thing for any artist that was showing in there. The only thing that wasn't were the vendor booths. And that was like an extra. So, you had a booth that you can actually decorate, brand out, all that kind of stuff. But as far as like the actual art that's, flying up in the air, no one's paying me for that. It's like, that was just me creating something that I think is needed for this community to continue to grow. And I hope that this continues to grow, where people can go in there and go like, well, what are the cool projects that I should be looking into? You're brand new to Wax. I highly suggest going to Waxapalooza. Anybody in there, I would give a thumbs up to.
It's funny how, and we were talking about earlier being plugged in and so close. I can look at these silly little pictures, and that's what they are. Silly little pictures. Like, let's be real. Like, what we're doing is, it's kind of, what a time to be alive, right? Yeah. I can look at I know that's Miss Teen Crypto. Yep. I know there's Senor Lupe. I mean, like, I can look. So if you're plugged into the community, like, that's the kind, and you've got some hitters on this lineup. So I suggest everybody go check this out. I didn't even see your lineup right there. You got them all labeled, but I was just looking at the pictures, and I would say 70% of them just by looking at their pictures. So. Yep. This is the thing you just were speaking to, is like showing up every day. How are you? What do you need help with? Like, I talk a lot. I guide a lot of my guys through crypto. Like, I'll tell them what I'm investing in. Obviously, do your own research. I go down that spiel. But it's a community, man. It's a brotherhood. It's somewhere. It's a family.
It is.
And we're all in this together, and we all go together. There isn't one going without the other, especially on the Wax side, and on the Ethereum side, shit, they've changed people's lives over there.
They have, man. It's amazing. Just in general, the whole space is amazing. Just seeing, like the Nyan Cat guy, and he's selling the meme that has been here for 10 years for like $500,000. It's like,
Crazy.
wow, dude, that's life changing.
Yeah.
You know, that's amazing, you know?
Student loans being paid off. I used to sit when I was building the bird out. I'd sit on the home screen just, you know, connecting with artists that I liked, following people, getting follows, you know. Then I got into the giveaways before giveaways were like, you know, everybody became numb to them. I mean, I've ridden this train from the station to where it is now, so I've seen the evolution of all of it. And yeah, it's a cool space. There's nothing like it that I know of. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else at this moment. So.
Yeah, me too, man. I 100% agree, man. And I just think it's going to evolve and become even more socially, you know, because I catch myself doing this all the time. Like when somebody new reaches out, I check their wallet, you know, when they send me their wax ID.
Right.
To see what kind of stuff they're into.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm like, oh, okay, you're into some cool shit. All right, cool. And I kind of get a vibe. And I think that that's going to kind of slowly be what this starts to become, is that it starts to become like a social thing. Like people find out your wallet, and that's how you kind of communicate and kind of connect, kind of like the Bored Ape Club kind of thing, knowing that there's another person that's been aped in, you know, there's this connection automatically there. And it's cool to see that, you know, it's cool to see, like, you know, humans like to be part of clubs and cliques and that kind of stuff. So it's playing off of that.
Who do you run with, dog? I don't know if I want to be associated. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you mentioned Chummies and Senor Lupe. I got number 58, Ocholo, sitting in my wallet. Like I was on the board. You know, I sat there and waited for number 58 and click, 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 you know. And yeah, it's a cool community, man. I'm humbled every day on, you know, people come to me, thank you, stuff like that. Like, thanks for pointing me in that direction. Or, you know, who am I, man? I'm just a guy that clicks buttons at the end of the day. And I know how to build a business. That's me. And I appreciate the art. Like, I love coming to work and seeing what's new, what's hot, what's not, you know. I'm doing a collab with Pixel Labs right now called Birds on a Bender. Like it's birds, you know, fearing loathing type style. Like, you know, they're like blowing cocaine. They're at strip clubs. I mean, but they're just degen enough and innocent and adorable at the same time.
At the same time,
it works. It works.
Yep.
I mean, you know, obviously, if that was a real life scene, people would be like, "What's wrong with you, bro?" But like, it's these two cute little birds.
Real dark, real quick.
Yeah, it's these cute little pixelated birds bumping up and down. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, anyway, I'll leave that for another day. But hey, bro, it was so nice to meet you, and thank you so much for taking time and coming on my show, man.
Oh, 100%, man.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to you guys coming on the show on Friday. You know, so for those out there, come on to the NiftyBC show on Friday. There's going to be you guys, and we have a bunch of people I'm confirming right now. So it's going to be, usually it's pretty fun. It's usually a little bit of a party in there. So it's going to be a good time, man.
Cool.
We'll talk about everything. I want to know more about Agora, man. I want to know all the stuff that you guys have coming up.
Hell yeah. And I think I'm going to take a page out of your book and download StreamYard and pay.
Dude, I'm
pay
telling you
$4
right now,
or whatever it is.
I do not get paid by StreamYard. I have no association with StreamYard, but I will 100% tell you, I spent weeks on OBS and Zoom and like about a zillion YouTube videos, and I pulled my hair out over and over and over and over again. I could not get it to work right, man. And then when I thought it was working right, it wasn't working right. There was like an echo that popped up or something, and it was just, anyway, so I get StreamYard. Someone's like, StreamYard? Dude, within 2 clicks, everything's fine. It's super easy to use. So if you stream, anybody out there, I'll give a shout out to StreamYard. That is the easiest way.
Well, so Todd's going to chastise me because he walked me through OBS, and this is what he uses for his streams. But maybe we can get a little sponsorship. That's what I'm good at. Maybe I'll reach out to him.
Do that, man. And if you figure that out, give me a call, man.
I got you, bro. I know where it started. I don't forget who told me things. All right, my brother. Well, thank you again for coming on. I will see you Friday, and Oliver should have signed up as well. So, guys, check out NiftyBC's show. We'll be on Friday amongst, I'm assuming, a pretty talented pool of artists. So
yeah, it'll be good. Crackers will be there. He's a journalist guy. TC will be there. He's like the master builder in Uplift. And Jimmy D might stop in. And we have like 2 or 3 other people that are like just they're like, oh, I'll confirm today. So
Cool.
it should be fun.
Yeah,
Should be
no,
good.
it'll be awesome. We went through a Crackers interview, and I got him and Oliver hooked up. So I love that guy,
Awesome.
dude. He is a hoot, man. I got him on
He
voice.
is, man. I love Crackers.
I
man.
couldn't
He's
hear.
great.
I couldn't understand 4 words he said, but I was laughing and just, I'm just going with him, bud.
Yeah, that's Crackers, man. He's
Yeah.
great though, man.
Yeah.
He's a good one to be part of the live stream. He's a fun one.
Absolutely. Well, NiftyBC, thank you so much, brother. I
Thank
will
you,
see
sir.
you Friday, and everybody go follow. All the links are in the description in YouTube, so open that description. Everything that you may or may not have seen today is linked right there at your convenience, and this will be published on Agora's home channel for review later for everybody else.
Yep, 100%, man. All right, take